What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. Tonight, I'm joined by my good friends Lucas Murphy, the beat of KC, and Michael Darcy of KC Sports Report. We're going to talk Kansas City Chiefs running back room right after this. Ladies and gentlemen of Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back into another video on my channel. Tonight, I'm joined by my two good friends, Lucas Murphy and Michael Darcy, who were brave enough to come back on here after the Missouri Tigers put that beat down on the Kansas Jayhawks in the border war. So thank you guys for making it out after that one. You see Lucas get serious now hearing about the Jayhawks. But no, we're here actually to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs finally and their running back situation. Now, guys, my inspiration for this video topic really is a combination of things. But I saw this tweet when I was scrolling through social media earlier, and this is from Matt Harmon on Twitter. He says, the Chiefs have had 411 running back runs in the regular season and playoffs since week 1 of last year. 23 of them have gained 10-plus yards. 4 of them have gone for 15-plus. 2 of them have gone for 20-plus. So, simply put, the Kansas City Chiefs have had one of the least explosive running games in the NFL over the past season or so. Now, I don't know if you guys saw, but Philadelphia Eagles general manager Howie Roseman went out and traded for Jacksonville Jaguars running back Tank Bigsby yesterday. Gave up a 5th and a 6th round pick to go and get him. Now, I'm not saying personally that I would have done that to go and get Tank Bigsby in particular, but I think there's something to be said that they made that move after Will Shipley, their other running back, got hurt. He'll be out 6 to 12 weeks. And Howie Roseman immediately goes out and gets someone. And Michael and I did a video not that long ago talking about the edge room once it was announced Felix got hurt. And I said, Michael, if Howie Roseman was running this football team, if he knew that a player that was slated to be in his rotation got hurt, what do you think he's doing? And Michael, you said he's going out and making a move. I see an area in which the Chiefs are weak. We knew they were weak coming into the year. They didn't really address it. And I'm saying Brett Veach should probably go out and make a move. Now, that's only one piece of this discussion that I want to have, though. The first question that I have for both of you, and Lucas, we'll start with you. But my question is, at what point do we hold Brett Veach, the general manager, accountable for the lack of activity in the running back room that is leading to a less explosive Kansas City Chiefs offense?
Holy smokes, that's a very weighted, heavy question. I have a lot of kind of thoughts on this. So the first thing that I'm going to address, and I'm going to try to keep this brief, is we had probably one of the deepest running back drafts this last year, and we waited till the 7th round. Granted, I think Brashard Smith is going to be a good running back, but the amount of running backs were available in this draft, and we waited till the very end to take one, I think also shows you that it just wasn't on their radar. They expected Pacheco to come back healthy, which we're seeing a healthy version. We're just not seeing a productive version. They go get Elijah Mitchell in the offseason, which we've talked about, and he was a healthy scratch. They have Kareem Hunt, who I think still has the juice, but is filling a good role in the 2 spot. But it's the fact that you just don't have that type of running back in this room that is able to do what a lot of these running backs are doing. Now, the third thing that I'm going to say is this offense is not designed to run the football. And there are times where, Andy has had good running backs and he uses them in a way to have success. But if we're being honest, it's a West Coast offense. It's designed to throw the football. We have the best quarterback in the NFL. We have one of the deepest receiver rooms when healthy. They're going to throw the football. So you need running backs that have the ability to not only burst when it's time to hand the football off, find the hole and go, but at the same time, you have to be able to catch the football, break out, be shifty, and have yak. And I think to me that is something that we just did not see in that first game, and that's something where I think we're lacking. Yeah, and I just think that this running back room has an area for improvement. I still believe that this is a very solid running back room. I just don't think that that's the focus.
Michael?
Oh, man. I mean, I think that, yes, you can be, not criticized, but like you can criticize Brett Veach for some of the personnel decisions, but we kind of talked about it in a different video. I don't remember where it was, but with Joshua Uche, Brett Veach traded a 5th-round draft pick to go get him, and Steve Spagnuolo didn't use him. And so it's like maybe he wants to go get more talent, but I view it like this. I think that Andy Reid is creating a shopping list and Brett Veach goes to the store. And I think that as you've seen over the past couple of years, they haven't really deviated from that grocery list. And I wonder if, maybe some of the decisions and thoughts of what Andy Reid wants to do supersedes what Brett Veach has the power to do. And because they love Pacheco, for whatever reason, he is just could do no wrong. But I don't think the Chiefs running back room has enough talent, to compete with someone like the Eagles have so much talent on that offense. It's ridiculous. They went out and they got Tank Bigsby, which is like whatever, but he's their 3rd running back. They got AJ Dillon backing up Saquon Barkley. They don't need any more help, yet they got it.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the main points that I was hinting at the beginning of the video is that you have this GM and Howie Roseman, who we've been comparing him and Brett Veach for a long time now, especially since that Super Bowl, because of the unique ways that each of them has built their championship level rosters. And it just feels like Howie Roseman is always making the one more move, the one extra move, even if his team didn't necessarily need that. And you see all these positions on the Chiefs where it's like, man, they need something, and you don't really see them making the move. Now, I liked what both of you had to say, but I want to go back to what Lucas said about how this offense is passing oriented, which I 100% agree with. But I think what we all have to agree on is that the lack of a consistent threat at running back is hurting the passing game as well, because no defense respects the Chiefs' ability to run the football. And then another point that I wanted to get to is that this past offseason, the Chiefs made Trey Smith a primarily run-blocking offensive lineman, the highest paid guard in the NFL. They moved on from Joe Thuney, an elite pass protector, to slide in Kingsley Suamataia, who can move in the run game. Creed Humphrey, great run blocker. So there seems to be no philosophical direction for this team. So my question, I guess, next for you guys is, what is the plan here for the Kansas City Chiefs? What should the plan be? Because it seems like we're getting mixed signals, and I think Michael was kind of hinting at this, but it seems like there's a disconnect between coaching staff and GM. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that that's for sure a thing. I also believe that what Andy says is what's going to happen. And if he needs somebody, then like Darcy said, there's a shopping list. Let's go address that. I truly believe that they think Pacheco's healthy. At the end of the day, we know that and Darcy says this all the time, the contract year never loses. The contract year is going to win. So I do believe that Pacheco will bounce back. I think we're going to have those games where he snaps off like 18 to 20 rushes for 100 yards. And like those games will come, but then you're going to see games where we start to get behind and we start to rely on the pass more than we need to because we have to do it that way. So I do think that there is a disconnect in some level to having the certain types of running backs you have. And I do believe it should have been addressed. I am curious to see if they were to give Elijah Mitchell a chance. Not saying that he's better than Pacheco. I'm not even saying he's better than Kareem Hunt. But I think to just kind of change up a little bit of that dynamic and maybe provide a little bit more juice, I think you would see maybe a little bit more of what we're looking for, because that is what he was doing when he was with the San Francisco 49ers. He had the ability to, the tweet that you shared, I feel like Elijah Mitchell would be more in the deeper end of that and, changing some of that tweet. So Yeah, I do believe there is a disconnect, but at the same time, I think it's just because of how the offense is designed, and that is to throw the football.
Well, Lucas, that almost brings up a broader question if the Chiefs' offense is flawed in its design.
Yeah.
And maybe that is too much of a loaded question to talk about, but I've seen a lot of offenses over the past couple years look substantially, marginally better than the Chiefs. And I almost wonder if some of Andy Reid's philosophy is kind of stuck in the past. And again, I'm not trying to criticize Andy Reid, but I think when you look at Baltimore, you look at Buffalo, and you look at Philly, they can run the football very well. And look at their quarterback succeeding. And it's like you've got this all-world talent in Patrick Mahomes. You've put wide receivers around him, and you haven't really put a really solid running back behind him. I think they got scarred with that CEH pick. If Clyde Edwards-Helaire ended up being a Jonathan Taylor, we're having a different conversation right now. So maybe they need to get back to just taking swings and, don't stop drafting running backs high because you missed on CEH. Just like when they missed on, Mecole Hardman, they kept drafting and they got Rashee Rice. They got Xavier Worthy. You can't stop because of one missed player.
No, for sure. I agree 100%. Now, I have one more question for you guys in this video, but before we get to that, I just wanted to give a shout out to our partners over at W Energy, guys. They use a coffee fruit extract, which is all natural, no added or artificial flavors, no harmful chemicals, no proprietary blends, and best part is you can get 10% off using the promo code down in my description below. Much healthier alternative than caffeinated energy drinks, which is something that I've unfortunately heavily relied on, but not so much anymore since I've started using W. So definitely go and check them out. Now, here's the thing. Michael, you hinted at it. You watched the other NFL games this past weekend, and it seems like every other team can run the football. They got an explosive running back that's getting those chunk plays 20 yards down the field. I'm going to flash that stat one more time. Only 2 rushes from Chiefs running backs since week 1 of last year have gone for 20 or more yards. That's pathetic, guys. Let's be real. Let's be honest. And I will give Isaiah Pacheco credit here. He averaged 5 yards per carry in week 1 against the Chargers on 5 carries. And you could argue that you need more carries than that as a running back to truly get going. But I'm tired of seeing Patrick Mahomes being our leading rusher and getting those chunk runs of 20 yards or more and not our running backs. My question for you guys is, do you believe in Isaiah Pacheco enough for him to bounce back this season to be that guy that creates more explosive runs? Or what is the plan at running back for the Chiefs? Or what do you envision being the plan? Do we eventually see Brashard Smith make his way into this rotation and kind of have that Isaiah Pacheco rookie year type of surge in the middle of the season where it's like, hey, this guy can do something. We need to start giving him the rock. What's the plan, do you think?
I think they're going to ride Pacheco till the wheels fall off. I do. I truly believe that that's their dude. They took him in the 7th round. We saw what he's capable of doing when he's able to play and up to the performance that they are satisfied with. I think Pacheco and Kareem Hunt are going to be your 1-2 punch, and everyone else will kind of filter in behind that. I also think, again, it just ties into that contract aspect. Like, they're going to probably ride him and do everything they can to use that contract year for him to – that'll be his selling point. So, hey, we're going to do this, and this is in return how you're going to get paid for whoever. I don't think that they're going to re-sign him. That's just me personally, because of how big the market can be for running backs. And with this type of offense, I just feel like you could almost plug and play and find a running back and get them going with this offense, because it just seems like, again, like you mentioned, Josh, when Mahomes needs to go, he's going to break it off and run for those yards. And that's just how this offense goes. And it's just it's just the way it is. And so I do think they're going to ride Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, and that's how they're going to finish the year.
I might have a little bit, maybe this is what we call growth. Maybe I've just watched the best of the best play every week. My opinion on running backs has almost changed a little bit. And I think it's because the way the NFL is shifting and you're starting to see running backs truly dominate again, because for a while there it was like, if you're a quarterback that's elite, you're going to cook defenses that were more geared towards stopping the run. But I feel like if you have a truly special running back, a game changer, someone that you can rely on. I mean, I think James Cook is the perfect example. He's not elite. He's probably not top 5. He's probably a top 10 back, I'd say so, but he's not a generational player. He's a very good player that makes Buffalo's offense function. Isaiah
Unless you
Pacheco,
ask Chris Collinsworth, then it's all Josh Allen.
Then it's a glaze. But, the Chiefs have gotten value out of Isaiah Pacheco. There's no denying that. A 7th-round draft pick probably shouldn't be as successful as he's been. At the end of the day, he's kind of shown the ceiling of what, a 7th-round draft pick's going to look like. And there's nothing wrong with that, but maybe the Chiefs should take a swing. Maybe the Chiefs should actually invest in the position, because it's no slight to Isaiah Pacheco that they haven't really put anything into the position group. They just think, oh, we'll just draft one in the 7th. We'll just, wait till day 3 to draft Rashard Smith. And then you go into a season with 2 7th-round draft picks and a 32-year-old Kareem Hunt. And so it's like they haven't truly cared enough to give that position enough, I guess, attention. And I think that's why they can't.
I don't think they see
football.
it as a weakness. Sorry to cut you off. I don't think they see it as a weakness.
They should. They should, because
I don't think they do, because of the style of offense that they run. I just don't. Like, I think if they truly wanted to be more 50-50, then they would probably take it more seriously. But because they like to throw the football and run all these different, even the jet touch pass, in a way you look at it, that's a run. Mm-hmm. They run all these gadget type of plays where guys that aren't running backs get the ball in those formats. I just don't feel that they take it as seriously because of that. And then like Rashard Smith fits that mold because of his ability to run the football. But then at the same time, he is more of a pass catcher. He's a converted wide receiver. And so that's where I think too. And the biggest thing, and the last thing I'm going to hit on with the running back piece is they are so focused on running backs that can block during pass downs. And that's what they're looking for. They're not so worried that, hey, we need a guy to go 20 plus. That just doesn't fit what we need to do. We need to make sure that when we're dropping back, that running back knows their blocking assignment and they know who to pick up, so that Patrick Mahomes has time to hit his receiver in stride. And that's how they approach it. Because back when we were looking for a running back, we were talking about the cut downs to the roster and trimming down to where we needed to be. The biggest focus in the running back room was, well, we don't have a running back that can block. We need to find one like that. And that's why certain guys were coming up. Now, they've mentioned Breece Hall. Look what Breece Hall went out and did for the Jets in week 1. That was insane. Like, those are the types of dudes that, like, you would like to have. But it's the fact, again, like, are they wanting to spend that money, and are they blocking when they need to? And that's what I think the Chiefs really are looking for.
Well, and really quickly, Josh, before you go, my only counter to what Lucas said, and I understand they should be a pass-first offense. You've got the best quarterback on the planet. But the past 2 seasons, he has not been the same player. And I think a lot of that is because you're asking him to go out there and throw 45 times to a defense that is waiting for you to throw the ball. And he has not eclipsed 30 passing touchdowns in either of the last 2 seasons. So the offense has been worse over the past 2 years.
Yeah, no, that is a perfect point to cap it off, because defense, you're going to be easier to defend if you're one-dimensional, and the Chiefs have been one-dimensional with the lack of running game. So I think that's a good place to end it. Definitely want to hear from you guys, though, your thoughts on our conversation we just had. Do you hold Brett Veach accountable for the lack of activity at running back? Do you think the Chiefs should go out and add a running back? What do you think the plan is? Definitely let us know your thoughts down below. With all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. You can check out my work on showmefootball.com. The Twitter, Show Me FB. And then before we go, guys, where can the people find you? We'll start with Michael.
You guys can find me on YouTube at KC Sports Report. Listen to me weekdays 10 to 2 on The Zone.
And then Lucas.
I got to switch hats back. There's too much history, and this hat's just weighing on my head. So let me switch back real quick. You guys can find me at The Beat of KC on YouTube, and head on over to Twitter and let me know what you guys are thinking. Appreciate it.
There you guys have it. All their stuff will be down in the description below. As always, that's all we got for this one. We'll see you all in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.